Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Katie, I am the Introverted Reader, and today's video is a continuation of a video that I believe I did last week, where I talked about certain characters that in my mind I believe that they identify as asexual. And I had an idea that I wanted to sort of like broaden my discussion a little bit. So I have some notes here of things that I wanted to talk about. So if you remember in the last video, we talked about all these different characters and how, you know, they're a little bit different from others, but they make them any less ace. No. And what I wanted to carry on with essentially is basically taught just asexuality in books and literature in general, and how I feel, you know, just really about that as an asexual person, seeing that being represented in books is, on the one hand, yes, a very, very good thing, but sometimes it's not always done in a very appealing way, if that makes any sense. So, like I mentioned in the other video, a lot of authors, such as Alice Oseman and TJ Klune, who are both asexual themselves, so a lot of the asexuality in their books is, you know, own voices, if you will. Like the main character in TJ Klune's In the Lives of Puppets, which is right here behind me. I can't reach it because I'm not strong enough. But In the Lives of Puppets, the main character in that, Victor, I believe his name is. Do you know what? I will get it. I will move Jack out of the way. And we'll get it. In the Lives of Puppets by TJ Klune. So the main character in this, so I believe, is Victor. I got the name right. Yes, he identifies as asexual, and, you know, there is a, you know, discussion about that in there, and, you know, he kind of struggles with it a little bit, if I remember rightly, you know, him sort of thinking, like, am I normal? Like, why do I not have the same feelings that a lot of other people do? Like, why am I not interested in sex the way other people are? And, you know, just being told, like, it's fine. It is completely normal. Like, I'm gonna put Jack down, because this just looks weird. Are you gonna stand up? There you go, Bone Daddy. Anyway, so it's like, you know, listen, it's completely normal. It's totally fine. And yes, sometimes, a lot of times, like in this, and in Alice Oseman books as well, asexuality is done really right, because the author themselves identifies as such and knows what they're talking about. Yet some, I mean, obviously some authors just don't include it in there, you know, especially with a lot of like queer literature that's out there. Asexuality isn't something that's really spoken about. Like, what do you think the A stands for in LGBTQIA plus? Like, the A stands for asexual, not ally, just letting you know. You know, but then again, some authors just don't really have it in there, or a lot of times it just feels like it's there to help them like tick a box. You know what I mean? Okay, I've got this, this, and this. What else do I need to make everybody, you know, to make this feel a bit more inclusive, even though I don't know what I'm talking about? Oh yeah, we'll put that in there too. Now, I'm not saying, you know, hold on, what was I saying? I said, no, I'm not. I'm trying to read my own handwriting. And okay, right. So what I'm not saying that you can't have it in there. Like, you can have the asexuality representation in there, but then again, there's the whole argument of like, don't write about what you don't know. Do you know what I mean? You know, like that whole argument where like, should straight actors play gay people in movies? You know, like the two fellas in Red, White, and Royal Blue, like that movie. Like, obviously the two main characters, no wait, is one of them bi? Yeah, I think one of them, who's the son of the president, I believe, is bisexual, and our prince is gay. Correct me if I'm wrong on that, but, you know, I don't believe that the two actors that played those parts are queer in any way themselves, but then again, not really my business. If they are, they are. If they're not, they're not. You know, but, you know, like, there's the whole argument where, should you have it in there, or should this person be doing this if they don't identify as such? But I mean, I guess that's a whole other conversation. But the other hand on that is the representation. Like, even though said author may not be ace themselves, having the representation in there is so vital, and it's so important, especially if you do identify as a queer author and you want to write a queer story. and you want to have, you know, a character of that in there, because you're thinking to yourself, like, not every, like, it's a rainbow for a reason. It's a myriad of colors for a reason. Like, it's not all just black and white, you know? And, you know, for those in the queer community who just, like, to say that there isn't homophobia or acephobia or anything to do with that, or any kind of discrimination against others within the queer community, you know, it would be really naive to say that, because, like, oh, no one within the queer community would say that about another queer person. Yeah, they would. yeah, they would. And the thing is, whenever it comes to, like, queer representation in general in media, it's usually used as, like, a shock factor or something that's like a big scandal. You know, it's never just something that's treated like normal, you know? Like, asexual people are just as valid as a gay man. They're just as, we have the right to the representation just as much as a trans person would, or just as much as a gay person or bi or whatever. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's so, but what is important and so vital, you know, no matter what the representation, you know, whether it's gay, bisexual, transgender, or asexuality, is the main focus of what we're talking about here, because that that I feel like is the one that is the most misrepresented, is the fact that for a queer kid, seeing themselves within pages of a book or within a movie or whatever it is so important. Do you know what I mean? Like, so, like, Claire Kahn wrote a book called Let's Talk About Love, and that was the very first book that I ever remember reading where I genuinely saw myself in a character. Like, Alice identified as she doesn't have the sexual feelings for someone, but she's not aromantic, but she can have romantic feelings for someone, but not in a sexual sense. And seeing all of that written down and seeing her going through this and, you know, putting the pieces together and being like, yes, that makes so much sense. Why have I never heard this before? I was like, oh my God, that is me. That is me, you know? And, like, seeing that was just so important. And for any other asexual people out there, having the representation in there is so vital. And it's so important. You know, queer representation in general in media is so lackluster. Like, let's be real, it doesn't matter what it is, you know, we are so misrepresented, you know, and like I said, it's usually used as a shock factor or like a big huge scandal, or, you know, this person stepping up and speaking their truth, you know, is just, you know, it's never about them. It's always about how, like, how could you do this to everybody else? How could you do this to me? And it's like, you know, again, that is a whole other conversation in the future, but I don't want to be sitting here talking for too long with this video. But let me know any of your thoughts down in the comments. Let me know any characters that you feel would fit the ace spectrum, any that I missed, just your overall opinions in general. I would love to hear them. And anyway, that's it for this video. Give a like so the algorithm knows you like me. Subscribe if you're new. All of my socials are down below as always. My Twitter, Instagram, and my TikTok. I have pinned at the top of my TikTok some very important videos that I think you should go and check out. You don't have to follow me. I mean, if you want to follow me, you can. That's great. But the 3 videos that I have pinned at the top of my profile are all very important, and please interact with them as much as you can so that we can help people, okay? Because we want to help some people out. Anyway, I've talked your ear off long enough. I hope I was making some sense, and I will see you in my next video on Tuesday. Bye.